Hey kids, it is Dad. Boy, it's been a rough couple days, I have to admit. Boy, Monday early morning, I scratched my cornea, had to go to the eye doctor and deal with that. And everything's great, everything's fine, blinker works good, everything's just fine. No issues. Thankful to the doctor to help out. But that's not what we're talking about here. Not at all what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about the tale of two stories, or two people who share a similar story, but yet it comes off in a completely different fashion. So last week I had the opportunity to watch Leaving Neverland, Michael Jackson story. Okay. That story, horrific. Now, of course, it's a he said, she said situation. I don't want to get into it. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. But then I said I need some good in my life. I need to see a different side, and so I need to see a different side. So I watched Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Mr. Rogers story, and it was a documentary about Fred Rogers. For those of you who don't know who Mr. Rogers is, I challenge you to look it up, do a little research on it. I grew up watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood every day, and to see one documentary about somebody who claimed to be doing all these things, it was all about the kids, okay? Then you see Mr. Rogers, and you see the difference, and you see what happened, and you see how he ate, slept, drinked, on the kids' level, wanting to communicate, wanting to how could he take things and make them learning moments? How could he take a natural disaster and bring it down to the kids' level? One story that I thought was, and before I get to that story, he always told his story, and then he used puppeteering to tell the story in a different manner to help get to a different level, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought was very, very cool. And of course, in this documentary, you see all the different people and what Mr. Rogers would do, and the message that he would send. Before, during civil rights, while there was a lot of civil rights unrest, he washed his feet in a pool, and he had the police officer, I forgot his name. Police officer came, who happened to be black. Hey, do you want to? It's a hot day. You want to wash your feet? And he did it, and it didn't make any difference. He just did what Fred Rogers did, and I thought that was so cool the way that happened. And so the story I was going to tell you was there was lots of superhero TV shows and movies at the time. Kids were putting capes on and were jumping and hurting themselves because the stories portrayed you wear a cape, you have superpowers, and you can do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do. So he had a special series of Mr. Rogers addressing that. So kids, I call everybody kids. So as I think about the tale of these two stories, the Michael Jackson story, the Fred Rogers story, and I think about the emotions that are raised, two different sets of emotions. I got teary-eyed watching Fred Rogers, and I similarly got teary-eyed because I was so mad watching the Michael Jackson. And of course, innocent till proven guilty. But the one word that comes to mind is intent. There was intent here. Someone can change my mind and prove me otherwise, but something not so good happened on one side, and something absolutely spectacular happened on the other side. And the spectacular things are still going on. That's the beauty of the whole thing. Fred Rogers passed away almost 20 years ago. The good that's going on is still going on. It's just remarkable, that example. It's remarkable the legacy that they have. Kids, stop for a second and think about the intent. And think about the tale of two different stories, and which story has the happiest ending. I love you, Madeline. I love you, Claire. I love you, Tommy. I love you, Emma. And I love you, Drew. Happy day to you guys. I love you so much. Talk to you later. Bye.